Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Everybody out there, from everybody in here, we having a good time on this Saturday. You know, got a little snow out there. Not a whole lot. Not a whole lot. However, it's enough to have fun with, and I'm happy it's here. I'm glad. I'm happy. How about you?
I'm happy.
You happy?
Yeah. I don't like snow,
You
y'all.
don't seem too happy about the snow.
No, I'm not happy about the snow.
Listen, you got to
I'm
get
from
it.
California.
You gotta get this one to me though. You know what I'm saying? Like the
No.
people that love the snow, it's here now. You know what I mean?
So you go ahead and
We
enjoy
got
the snow.
We got a little bit of snow.
I'll
out
be
here.
inside looking outside at you. Enjoy the snow.
Well, what I'll do for you, from me to you.
Mm-hmm.
I go outside, I get a snowball.
No.
I'll bring. No.
No. That's a gift you do not have to give.
But you gotta have fun with the snow, man.
No.
All right, y'all. You know, I'm gonna have fun with the snow. I don't know about
He's
y'all,
gonna have fun
but
with
I'm
the
gonna
snow.
have fun with the snow. It's
I
a
don't do
beautiful
cold.
thing. It's a beautiful thing. Listen, we just glad that the week went well.
Mhm.
Everybody's safe, sound, secured,
Yes.
and warm.
Yes.
So, without further ado, you guys know who I am. I'm Brian. And this wonderful one next to me, sitting over here, I have a privilege. No, I have an honor of introducing you to Tina. Tina to the people. And Tina, you gotta know, she's the love of my life, y'all.
Oh, you were so sweet. Hello, everyone. Thank you for being with us today. You were so sweet.
Thank you. Yes, thank you for being with us, hanging out, having some good time. We're gonna go right into this thing, man. We're gonna go right into
Get
it.
right to it.
Have some fun with it.
Mhm.
Speak on a few things about watching your mouth.
Watch your mouth.
She said, "Watch your mouth."
Watch your mouth.
So
Tell the
that's
kids
it.
that all the time. Watch your mouth.
Just what? Watch your mouth.
Watch your mouth.
Right, watch what you said. So we're gonna have a little bit of fun today. We're gonna come from the episode, the Love-isode, Love-isode, called "Watch Your Mouth."
Yes. Watch
Now.
your mouth.
Everyone has heard this saying, "Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me."
Right.
And that was supposed to be this thing about some snappy comeback when somebody's being bullied or somebody's being made fun of. I'm going to say, whoever made that doggone statement, scenario, comeback, wasn't speaking all truth.
No.
Because that comes very short of the truth. Because the truth is, the fact of the matter is, words do hurt.
Yeah, they do.
Words can hurt bad.
Yes.
They can affect you personally in the way you talk about yourself,
Right.
and they can affect the person that you're talking about
Yeah.
by way of using very negative, derogatory types of things, you know,
Right.
and it just doesn't come off well. And we're going to talk about how this affects us in our marriage, but I want to address something very, very important first, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
So, real quick, this piece is super important. If you are treating yourself bad, if you aren't happy with yourself, if you aren't loving yourself, how can you treat someone else with kindness? How can you speak well, especially to your spouse, with kindness, with love, if you're not loving yourself?
That's true.
If you're not speaking to yourself well.
That's true.
Why am I saying all this? I'm saying this because your mental health is so important in the relationship.
Yes.
It's important to you as a person. Everyone has this innate sense of wanting to be loved and wanting to have love.
Right,
But
we're born with that.
yeah, absolutely. But you have to, beyond a shadow of a doubt, you have to love yourself.
That's right.
There's this saying, you are what you eat, right? And it talks about the food that you put in your system, because the food is either going to be fuel to your system or it's going to bog you down, right?
There you go.
Eggs will help you, you know, protein.
Yeah.
Donuts to set you back, put you to sleep. What if we take that word eat and change it to say? So you are what you say.
That's good.
And how that works is the words you say, the words you speak over yourself will either encourage you
Right.
or it will put you in a place of not so good.
Yeah, you're defeated.
Yeah.
You tear yourself down.
Yeah, you're tearing yourself down.
Yeah.
So I'm going to let you guys in on a little bit about me real quick, Tina, if you don't mind.
Yeah. Tell your testimony.
So my testimony is let me correct myself, I was battling with depression, with low self-esteem
Right.
for many, many years. I was bullied as a kid growing up. I was picked on by a lot of people. I was picked on by the way I look, my skin tone, my facial features. I was picked on about my clothes, just numerous things. I was seriously tormented. And I allowed these ugly words, these words of denigration to seep into my soul like seeds into soil, right? And I started to believe these things. I used to call myself stupid because I would hear it all the time. It's because I learned differently, right? I don't learn the same as everyone else, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Now, I know that's okay now, but then,
Yeah.
because I didn't catch or comprehend or pick up the way other people did, I was called stupid. The way I looked growing up, I was called ugly. And these things I started to believe, I started to believe them. I started to say it to myself. Things would come, my way. I would quit because, I can't do that. I'm just too stupid.
Yeah, it took root.
I don't want to go out on a date. I'm too ugly. I don't want to go and hang with so-and-so because she's going to call me ugly. Or all of those types of things, right? And like you said, it took root in my system and it became normal everyday life.
Right.
So instead of encouragement, I was in a bad place. I was always angry. I was always emotional. I was always mad. And with all of those issues, my low self-esteem, my anger problems, my depression, I couldn't love myself. I didn't know how to love myself. So how in the world could I love Tina? How in the world could I love my kids? Now, I would say it, 100%.
Yeah.
I would say it. Love you guys. But I would also say some very ugly, ugly things to my family, to Tina, to my kids, because I just didn't know how to love myself, so I didn't know how to show love to anyone.
Right.
So I would say to you, to all of you, it doesn't matter. Husband, wife, if you don't love yourself, you can't show love to someone else.
No, you can't.
You gotta love yourself.
Yeah.
Because if you don't love yourself, it's impossible to show love. And I'll also say this: if you get into a relationship with someone expecting them to show you love and give you love because you can't and or don't give yourself love,
Right.
that wholeheartedly won't work.
Right.
Because you become dependent on that love. You become dependent on that person. It's like when a man gets married to his wife and the wife is nursing the man, right? That's not what you got married for. You didn't get married for nursing,
intended,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And that dependence becomes so much. You're not showing love. They're showing love, and then when they stop showing love, you're going to get mad because you're no longer getting love.
Right.
The love that you were seeking, the love that you were trying to find. So, all of that to say what? Love yourself.
That's it.
You have to love yourself. Your mental health, your mental well-being, your stability means so much. It's important. You have to love yourself. You've heard me say it before. I've been to therapy, and it worked for me. It worked for me. And if that's what you need to do, do it by all means. Don't be ashamed to do it. Don't be afraid to do it. Whatever you got to do to get yourself right, to get yourself going, to make this going, do it.
Yeah.
But your starting place,
First things first.
is God. First things first. Philippians 4, 6, and 7 says, do not be anxious about anything, but in everything, by prayer and supplication, with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to God. And the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and minds in Christ Jesus. Let your anxiousness, your anxiety, your depression, all of that, let God hear you say, I want to be delivered from that.
Right.
Let God hear you say, I need help with this. Going to the therapy, going to all of that's wonderful. Talk to your spiritual leaders, all of that, elders, deacons, all of that good stuff. That's fine. God needs to hear you say this. God needs to hear this come from you so that he can give you what you need.
Right.
Because it starts with your mouth.
That's it.
Right?
It does.
It starts with your mouth. You got to speak that over
say.
yourself. You got to speak life into yourself. You got to speak life into yourself.
That's good.
Proverbs 18:21, death and life is in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. I love me. So I want to eat that fruit.
Right.
Because them sour grapes, boy, I tell you what, them things is
No, sir.
There's so much that you can do. There's so much you can have. There's so much you can be. There's so much more you can give if you love yourself. And I'm going to say that one more time. You have to love yourself. I take that back. I'm going to say that a couple more times. You have to love yourself. That's the truth.
Yeah.
That's the truth. Ephesians 4:15 says, instead, speaking the truth in love, we will grow to become in every respect the mature body of him who is the head, that is Christ.
That's right.
So all that crazy stuff about, I don't look good, I ain't smart, I'm smart. I'm
Yes,
smart.
you are.
And I say that with confidence, not conceited. I'm humbled. I don't brag, I don't boast, but I'm smart, man. I got a 3.9 GPA.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, with yourself.
Hey,
with your smart self.
With my smart self. And I'm going to tell you what. Man, I look good, man.
Oh yeah,
I look
you
good,
do.
man.
You messing
You know what I'm
with
saying?
me. We in this Love-isode early.
I look
Don't
good,
get
man.
it started now.
Listen, I say it. My wife says it.
Yes.
God says it. God says it to me. God says it to you. Mm-hmm. You're beautifully and wonderfully made.
Yes.
Your life matters.
You, God. Mm-hmm.
You are more than enough.
That's it.
And the sooner that's realized, the sooner the love can begin to show and grow, and that will help the marriage blossom and bloom.
Right.
Because you are loving yourself. You are loving yourself.
Right.
And because I say all these types of things, because I say I'm smart, and I say I'm handsome, and I say I love myself, I'm able to show that kind of love because I get that kind of love. I can show that love to my wife. I can show that love to my kids. I can say kind words to my family. I can set a guard over my mouth and a watch over my lips so that I don't say anything corrupt to the ears of my family. I don't want to say anything demeaning, demonstrative, or destructive to my family. I just don't.
Right. It's so interesting that you say that because I remember my father, he used to always quote this scripture and we used to make fun of it all the time when we was in church. It comes from Psalms 19:14. It says, let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in your sight. So whatever I'm, meditating on in my heart and the words that I'm speaking, I want God to accept what I'm doing. And it's so funny. I also think about me and my brother, we always have conversations. And if I say something, he there's a quote he always says, "Gots to be more careful."
Gots to be more careful.
I love that. Gots to be more careful.
And he comes out of left field with it too, boy.
Yeah, it's like gots to be more careful. And that is so true. We have to be careful on what we allow in our hearts. I have to be careful of what, as Brian's wife, what I allow in my heart, what I meditate on. Am I meditating on how he didn't do something and that bothered me last week, and I'm meditating on that, because then what's going to happen when he comes to talk to me? Then bloop, there comes something that I shouldn't have been meditating on. I should be meditating on the things that God is doing in his life, the growth that's in his life, which is so important. So my thoughts are connected to my heart, and I have to be mindful that whatever is in my heart, it flows. Everything that comes in my mind comes in my heart, and it flows right on out of my mouth.
Absolutely.
So it's really important. It's interesting how the thoughts that we have are hidden from everybody, but I'm telling you right now, God knows.
God sees all,
what you're thinking, and you're gonna have
to
to give an account for it. You're gonna have to give an account for it. You know, I was watching a TV series the other day, and what was really interesting, it's so interesting how God talks to you in just everyday life. I'm watching this series on TV, and I was looking at this scene that the director created, and you would see the scene from different aspects. So you saw it from the mother's point of view, the father's point of view, the child's point of view, the social worker for this thing. You saw the social worker's point of view. You saw all these different point of views over the same scene. And when God was speaking to me, it was like, what if we took that type of concept in our marriage?
Okay.
So when something happens, instead of looking at something from just your perspective, look at it from your spouse's perspective. Okay. Instead of just, looking at it just from your light, look at it from their light and their perspective. Because sometimes in marriage, especially during a difficult time, it's easy to fall into like a negative thought pattern.
True.
And you don't want to do that with your spouse, because when you do that, there goes your thoughts, there goes your heart, and then all of a sudden your words reveal what's in your heart.
True.
So the question is, what are you thinking? Or what are you allowing into your heart? Facts.
That leads right into Matthew 12 and 34. And the King James Version, it says, out of the abundance of the heart the mouth speaks.
There you go.
But I'm going to use the New Living Translation because it brings it out a lot more. It says, you brood of snakes.
Oh, not the snake.
How could evil men like you speak what's good and right? How can evil men speak what's good and right? For whatever is in your heart determines what you will say. Right?
Right.
So, just like I said earlier, I wasn't in a good place.
Sure.
My mind was clouded. My heart was black. And I would just say really bad things. I would pop off at the mouth. So how could I, being full of rage, full of anger, and all of this, say anything in love?
Yeah.
With love. How could I do anything good, right? Or say anything nice to you, my sweets. I call Tina, sweets.
I love my nickname
because that's a reminder of how she should be treated. Aww. Sweet. It's like honey. It's like,
we gonna end this episode early. You hear me?
Listen,
y'all pray for your girl. I'm trying to get through this.
So. But what I'm trying to say is I can't use anger to tell you how I feel. I can't use anger to bring love. And I can't use these words that I use that were sharper than a knife, cutting deeper than a sword, and be abundantly not out of ammo with this thing,
Right.
How does it look to talk to you in anger and in love? Love you, it just doesn't look good, right? It just doesn't flow.
That ain't gonna work.
So again, I have to be mindful. I have to watch what I say. I have to love myself. I have to do all of these things.
Yeah.
And in the middle of all that anger, right? In the middle of all that craziness, I'm expecting you to show me love, right?
Yeah.
Because I was dependent on that. Because again, I didn't love myself. I didn't know how to love myself. But if I'm constantly doing that to you, you're going to end up slowing up on the love showing.
True.
And that's why it's so important to love yourself first, because if that love stops, you're going to get mad. Like me, I got mad. I got mad at Tina because I'm over here popping off at the mouth. She was showing me love. Then she slowed up on the love, and I was like, where's the love? And then I'm getting mad, and I'm getting angry.
Clutch my pearls.
And it doesn't work. It doesn't flow,
work that way.
Right?
Yeah.
So I can't say a relationship will be equal all the time, like a teeter-totter, right? Like you're balancing, right?
Yeah.
I can't say it will be balanced all the time, give and take. But I can say this. If I'm taking all the time, while Tina's giving, is going to come to a point where she's no longer giving, and that teeter-totter goes like this. Because I'm the one sitting, and there's nobody here. Right?
Yeah.
Gone. Left. No longer here.
I just had the visual of the, how you play on the teeter-totter?
Yep.
And when somebody would jump off or whatever, and you
bang!
hit it.
Yes.
That's painful.
Yeah. Painful.
That is painful.
And we gonna get into all of that next Love-isode. Stay tuned and everything like that. But yeah.
Wow.
Gotta maintain that balance. Go ahead.
Yeah. I was thinking about that. You were talking about Proverbs 18 and 21, but I like it from the Message Bible, where it says, words kill, words give life. They're either poison or fruit.
True.
Fruit, you was talking about fruit.
Yep.
And it also says, you choose. So what I would want to submit to you today, don't be a verbal assassin. You can single-handedly kill your marriage with your own mouth. You have to answer for all the things that you say. So please, matter of fact, chat that in the box. I will no longer be, or I am not, a verbal assassin.
This whole thing, words matter. Verbal assassin, just think about that, like a verbal assassin. Like, oh my goodness, that is real.
So everything that comes out of your mouth is killing something. Can you imagine?
Like a dagger, like throwing Chinese stars at somebody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's crazy. But that was me. That was me. I used words to cut deep, and I cut deep, man. I would say it's a defense mechanism. I would say I was using it as a defense mechanism because I was so hurt. I was so angry. I was so mad. I knew the words that were being said about me were bad. I started believing them. I got mad at myself for believing them. So I built this thing, and I said, you know what? I'm going to jab people with my words before they can keep gonna come at me first. So I would jump out at somebody, and my bark was just vicious. It was tragic, man. It was tragic. And I wanted to do that before somebody jumped at me. I would even exploit weaknesses. I would exploit Tina's weaknesses. I would use those as a way to hurt Tina, to make her, make her feel bad, because I wanted her to feel as bad as I was feeling. She didn't make me feel bad. I just wanted someone to feel like the way I felt. Misery loves company.
Wow.
You know what I mean? That's true.
Yeah.
Misery loves company. I was alone in my misery, and I wanted somebody to be there with me. So I would use Tina's weaknesses, dig into her deep, make her feel less than, make her feel unloved. And I'm going to tell you right now, man, if y'all out there doing that, stop. Stop it. It's gotta stop.
Watch
because
it.
That's not love, man. It's wrong. It's all the way wrong.
Yeah, it's interesting because in marriage, when you're married, you see things about your spouse that nobody else sees.
Right.
And I think the hardest thing in marriage is when you know someone's flaws and they try to correct you.
Right.
It takes a seriously mature kingdom woman and a kingdom man to be able to not take your spouse's inadequacies and use them as ammunition.
True.
It's just not right. When you love your spouse, you got to put it into practice to not judge them and love them and cherish them and build them up with your words.
100%.
It's really, really important. And even though you know their flaws, you know them at their worst, you know them when they're at their best, you got to be able to know when you're wrong. Like, for instance, let's say I was wrong about something. That's very
Tina,
rare.
you wrong.
That's very rare.
You wrong.
That's very rare.
You are so wrong.
But let's say I was wrong about something, and he's trying to correct me about it. And my mind goes back to, well, last week you was wrong about something, so who are you to tell me? No.
Who are you to judge?
No. Wrong is wrong. And if God is using him to correct something in me, then I just need to go ahead and straighten up. You know, it's so interesting. We are better together because God has given us power.
Absolutely.
We're a power couple.
I dig that.
Power couple.
I dig that. I dig that.
We are two powerful people, but we can't be, now hear me,
Okay.
we cannot be powerful and petty. It don't work that way.
Powerful
It don't work that way.
petty.
Sorry.
Oil and water.
Right.
Okay.
It doesn't work that way. You cannot be powerful and petty at the same time. It just doesn't work. So the more that you say the right things, the more you say the right things. Sorry. You thought something deep was coming up.
That's deep enough, man. I mean, shoot. The more you say the right things,
Say the right things. You'll say more of the right things.
And man, can't be powerful and petty at the same time. Can you throw another P word in there for the people out there, man?
Well, if you're going to be powerful, do it on purpose.
I dig it. I hear you. And I like that power couple situation. Because people, you know, the world sees power couple as fame, fortune, glitz, glam, whole lot of money. You know, Beyonce, Jay-Z. Cool, power couple. I mean, I ain't tripping on them, you know what I'm saying? Mad respect for them. Cool, not a problem. But I like the power couple that you're talking about with our PR rep, Jesus, right?
That's it.
That's where our power comes from. That's what makes us a power couple, you know. And it took a minute for us to understand that.
Yeah.
And speaking about and piggybacking off of that correction thing, now when Tina and I talk to each other, whether it's for correction or whether it's for understanding, because it's not always correction, right?
Right.
We just want to understand each other. We sit down. We listen to each other. What do you have to say? And open my ears to listen to it. Open my ears and my heart to listen to it.
Gotta be intentional.
And say, and to hear what you're saying, right?
Right.
Before this, before the listening, we were laced with troublesome, slanderous finger pointing.
Craziness.
Craziness. Let's just sum it all up. Craziness. Like Tina said, she would say something. You know, I would respond with, "Well, Tina, that was just stupid." And let's pick up on that, right?
Yeah.
So what just happened right there? Going back to your perspective with the cameras and things like that. Let's take Tina's perspective. Well, Tina's saying, "Well, I said the words. He just said the words were stupid. The words came from me, so he must be calling me stupid."
Right.
Right?
Right.
So words hurt.
Yes,
Right?
they do.
So in her mind, in her interpretation of what I just said, I just called her stupid. Could I have asked for a better understanding in a different way? Sure.
Right.
Tina, what do you mean?
Right.
Explain. Talk to me. Well,
Yeah.
What do you mean by that? You know what I mean? Figure it out. A better way of communicating and saying things to each other in love, with love.
That's it.
Right?
Because it's all love.
Because it's all love. What do you know,
Right.
Ephesians 4:29, do not use foul or abusive language. Let everything you say be good and helpful, so that the words will be an encouragement to those who hear them.
Yeah.
So if Tina says something that I didn't understand, hey, what do you mean by that? Can you explain that to me? Give me a little bit more detail behind that. You know, Tina, that didn't make any sense to me. I'm trying to understand what you mean by that. Can you help me understand?
And he says it just like that.
That's better.
Yeah, he says it just like
That's
that.
better. Because abusive words, and let's clarify,
Right.
abusive and foul words aren't always cuss words.
Nope.
You don't have to use 4-letter words to be demonstrative.
Nope.
You know, foul language is just that. Abusive language is just that. Bullying doesn't just happen in the workplace or at school. It can happen in the home by the words that you use.
Yes.
And I hate admitting that I bullied my family in the past.
Wow.
That sucks to say because of the words that I used. It literally makes me sick to my stomach when I hear that. And I have to say that. But you know what? It's necessary to say. It's absolutely necessary to say because somebody out there may be going through the little things that we were going through. And I don't mean to belittle them to say that they're little, because they were huge when we were going through them. So if that's something that you're going through, I get it. I understand. I hear you. Change it.
Yeah.
Change it. You know?
That's it.
It's important. You have to change that. Proverbs 15:4. Gentle words are a tree of life. A deceitful tongue crushes the spirit. Your words that you use can either bring life to your marriage or it can crush your spouse's spirit.
Yeah.
And even though in a marriage, the two people that are going into this relationship, they're whole people in and of themselves. So that now these two individuals are going to become one. Your words can divide that oneness and bring a wedge in that marriage that sometimes is hard to come back from. And I thank God. Like so hard. Thank God that He was able to reconcile us back to each other, even after the craziness, even after the foolishness, even after the crazy words and the things that we were doing to each other. And if you learn anything from us, do not let your marriage get to the brink of disaster.
Don't do it.
I'm not going to give away too much of next week.
Okay.
But I will say this. Our relationship, Tina's and my relationship, got to the brink of disaster after it already tanked.
Right.
So we got a do-over after the do-over. And I'm asking you, I'm submitting to you, I'm praying for you to not let it get to that point.
Right. Change it now.
Do something about it. And it starts with kind words that are like honey.
Honey.
You know? Sweet to the soul.
Ooh, sweets. Hey.
And healthy for the body.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So we just wanted to encourage you guys. We just wanted to come today, get right to it, to encourage you all to be an encouragement to each other.
Watch your mouth.
Be each other's hype man.
Yes.
I'm hyping this woman up every chance I get.
He does.
You know what I'm saying? She can sing. She's beautiful. She's wonderful. She's lovely. I know we run out of time, and I can keep going, so I'm gonna go ahead and keep moving.
Come on with the honey.
I can do this all day now. You know.
Yeah. It's a process. It was something we learned over time that we started with one word and just kept going. So.
And that one word was God.
There you go.
That one word was God. We aligned ourselves with the will of God. You have to align yourself with the will of God. Love yourself first. Have God show you the best love possible, the greatest love of all time. So that you can be able to show someone else that love, right?
That's it.
Tina and I have our ups and downs. We cannot be perfect.
No.
It's absolutely impossible for us to do that.
We could try, but no.
But we make it a point to be mindful of how we speak to each other, to be mindful of how we address each other, to be mindful of how we treat each other, and to listen with sincerity.
Yeah.
To understand what she's trying to say. And if I don't understand, I say, hey, Tina, let's sit down. Let's talk about it. See what I did there? Let's talk about it.
Talk about it.
Hey, listen.
Let me go.
brothers and sisters on the West Coast. Love y'all.
You know we had to do it.
We just so happy. We just so happy y'all are back. You know, bringing that thunder, bringing that heat, bringing that fire. Boy, I tell you what. But in all seriousness, we just want to make sure that we're doing what we need to do in our marriage, man. Marriage is a beautiful thing.
It is.
It's a beautiful thing. It truly is. If it's done the way God intended it to be done, with love, with compassion, with understanding, and a lot of grace.
Proverbs 18:20 says, words satisfy the soul of food, satisfies the stomach. The right words on a person's lips brings satisfaction.
Oh, I dig it.
I'm going to read it again. Words satisfy the soul.
The soul.
As food satisfies the stomach. The right words on a person's lips bring satisfaction. So make sure you're bringing satisfaction to your marriage.
Amen to that. But Tina, I heard you say something so important. Food to the stomach.
You hungry?
You understand? So with all of that, we're going to go ahead and get some of that good homemade veggie stew, boy. It's about to go down. So listen, we just want to say thank you guys hanging out with us. You know, it's always a blast to have you guys come hang out with us.
Have a good
Much
time.
respect,
Everybody.
mad love. So we hope you've been blessed. We hope you got something from this today. And before we part ways, before we go, we always ask a big favor of you guys. Big favor. Please share that love. Hit the like button. Subscribe to our YouTube page by going to It's All Love 109 or following us on Facebook or Twitter using our handle at It's All Love 109. Please leave us a comment. Let us know what you think. We love to read them. We love to see them. We love to interact. We love to respond. And we just appreciate you guys. We really appreciate you guys. We really love you.
Yes. And we pray that you've been blessed by what you've heard today, and we're able to see the love in the middle of it all. We pray that the love shown to us by Jesus, you're able to show to your spouse, knowing that when he loves us, you can love your spouse too. I changed it up a little bit.
It's all good because it's all love. So remember, everybody, with you, your spouse, and God on the same team, it's all love. Look forward to seeing y'all next week.
See y'all next week.